everybody. Thank you for joining me today on a live stream. Tyler just said hi, everybody, too. So we have a great show planned for today. I apologize there was no stream yesterday. I'll talk to you about that in just a moment. But there will be a stream on Thursday to make up for it. So, yeah. So, just trying to put everything together. It's very difficult to cover stuff right now. There's lots of like little stories that you're like, is it worth a video? And then like they just, and also I had to watch Capone, which took a huge chunk out of my day today. I filmed two things before this. I filmed a Hamilton video and a Capone review. The sunlight is going to get pretty bad shortly, so I won't be able to film. So I wanted to film those before we did the stream, and then I'll edit them and post them afterwards. So they're going to go up today. So that's very exciting. Someone just messaged me and said, are you going to cover that, Wonder Woman and Tenet are probably going to move? And the reason they said that is because it was reported that Los Angeles is doing their lockdown now through July. So if that's the case, they're going to have to move those films, which is a big problem. I don't know what's going to happen to the movie industry if that happens, but I can't make a video about it just yet because they haven't actually done it. I think Warner Brothers might be, Variety said that Warner Brothers would decide about Tenet this week. I think they might decide after the weekend when they see how Scoob does. I think that's going to be a big test for them. Although, of course, they can't possibly recoup their investment with Tenet because, streaming is it's a different situation. But anyway, yeah, I'm trying to get videos up. It's very difficult. I have an idea for some fun videos at the end of the week. But it's like also frustrating because you never know what's going to hit because the audience, people who are interested in movies aren't really online right now because there are no movies. So it's difficult. People are just trying to just keep themselves sane. So, there isn't a huge conversation in the space right now. So it's very, for instance, the Young Avengers video I put up this morning, if I had released that closer to, say, WandaVision being released or a WandaVision trailer, it would have done much better. And that video took about, I'd say, a total about 7 hours to make. So it just gets really, frustrating to try and figure it out. And there's just, a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes. But I'm soldiering onward like everybody else is. We just have to figure it out, God damn it. It's better than being dead. That's my new catchphrase. It's better than being dead. Whenever I feel bad about something not working out, or if I'm not doing stuff, or I can't go out, or things are frustrating or tough. When I think about the fact that there's a huge 1 to 2 year pause in the middle of my life, I'm like, well, at least I'll have a life after that pause. Thank goodness. So that's kind of what happens. The reason it takes so long for a video, Tabitha, is by the time I write out the video, film the video, I have to do my hair and makeup, and then get all the images and edit them in. I mean, I put a lot of work into my editing. And it's a lot of work to do that. I'm glad it comes across so effortless, but it's a ridiculous amount of work. I did see that Becky Lynch got pregnant, Andrew. I thought she cried about it a lot. It's bad. It's horrible timing for her career, but I hope that she's happy about it. I didn't like the way she phrased it too much, but I think Becky Lynch. I think she's beautiful. I think she's talented. I'd like to see her succeed, but this is going to be a big break in her career for her. So, not a big break, but a pause. But luckily, the whole industry's on pause. So maybe by the time she's done, she'll have a kid and the coronavirus will be over. All right, everybody, you're wonderful for tuning in today. We'll get to the 3 stories in a moment, and then, of course, at the end, you can ask me anything you'd like for the final 10 minutes of the video. I think Becky CJ will be fine. She's, I think, very talented. She's the best female talent I've seen come out of wrestling. I think she's on par with The Rock and John Cena. I think for sure. She's very, very good. Spencer feels my editing pain. All right, so before we get to the 3 stories of the day, where is everybody watching from? I'm so glad so many of you enjoyed the Young Avengers video. I know how many of you love that group, and I have some other WandaVision stuff planned. It might be next week at this point because I have this other cooler idea. But I see what you guys like. You're very sweet for the nice things that you say. Thank you. I can't tell you how much it means to me. Phoenix, Ellis says it's under 100 degrees in Phoenix. Well, you're inside. Geeky Gator says in Cape Cod, you just got your pool open? I would love to quarantine with a pool. My friend Scott's quarantining with a pool, and I'm very jealous. Alex is in Florida. Braden is in sunny Colorado. Julio is in Dallas. Madeline just made it. Max is in St. Petersburg, Florida or Russia. We don't know. Terry is eating lunch in Edmonton. Angelique is in Florida on her way to work. Good luck. Be careful. Let's see here. Red, Survivor of Storms, just finished The Americans. Like the whole thing, and The Americans is great. Madeline's in the car. Evan's in Oslo, Ohio. Let's see here. Computer Man is in Atlanta, Georgia. We are still here with all restaurants open. Really? Careful. Josh loves movies. Says, I'm watching from my bed in Chicago, Illinois. We moved to Phase 3 in June. Good luck to you. Movie theaters are Phase 4 here in New York, and we haven't even hit Phase 1. And we're not going to, I think, until June. So bad. All right. Luke is eating early dinner in upstate New York. Lloyd is in his bed in Chile, Virginia. I Like Movies is in North Carolina. Radiant Silver Lighter is in Cleveland, Ohio. Another Ohioan. Spencer DeVoe is watching from Cleveland. Aaron Townsend is in the Bay Area where it's extra foggy. I love the atmosphere that you guys give. It's so great. Josh says movie theaters are also Phase 4 in Illinois. Cody is in California. Ashley is in Versailles, Kentucky. Love it. The Movie Lover is eating some fried chicken in Vancouver. Editing his short film. Good for you. Samir is in Hong Kong starting my 14-hour fast. Elliot's watching from LA, mad that you have to wait until July. But remember, you could be dead. It's better than being dead. That's what you got to keep telling yourself. At least I'm not dead. All right, let's get on to today's 3 stories. Thank you, everybody. You know, everybody who tunes in, it's so nice to have you here for these conversations. And a special thanks to those of you who are members, because I have to tell you, not only do I appreciate the support all the time, but it's particularly helpful during this difficult period. So I really thank you guys so much. All right, first story of the day. Let me mark it. Boop. All right, so, yes, Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing, you know, actually isn't the biggest story, but the way the poster is done, it had to go on the left of the poster frame. So I was like, I'll put it as the first story. So Swamp Thing on the DC Universe, as you might recall, was a show that many of us loved. I loved it, but then we all stopped watching it when it was canceled, like on its 2nd or 3rd episode. Like, they shot the whole season, but everybody was like, why would I continue this when it's over? So we all stopped. Now, there was rumors that Warner Brothers shut it down because it was too expensive to store the sets or whatever. They were like, oh, it's too expensive to make this. But I can tell you from people I actually spoke to at DC and Warner Brothers that they just didn't get the show. They thought it was bad. They were like, oh, she's in love with a pile of leaves? This is ridiculous. But they didn't realize that it's pretty darn freaking good. Crystal Reed, who was so good on Gotham, she's so good on it. Andy Bean from It Chapter 2, he played Stan for like a split second, but he's so good on it. So anyway, hey, Sabriz Marvel 6. That's a great name, Sabriz Marvel 616. I love it. Although you have a mysterious no-profile picture. So yeah, look at Yep Dam. Didn't even start Swamp Thing. So anyway, CW needs shows. So they're like, they have a deal with Warner Brothers. Now, Netflix has teamed up with CW, and it's been very helpful for Riverdale, and then it led to Sabrina. So I guess Warner Brothers is now working with the CW, which I think they partially own it along with CBS, right? But anyway, they're like, hey, why don't we put this content, which nobody watches because nobody has DC Universe, over on the CW, which is home to many a DC fan thanks to the Arrowverse, right? And I have to tell you, these DCU shows are a step above. And so far, they're only promoting Doom Patrol on HBO Max for some reason. They're very good. DC Universe has excellent original programming, although Titans, I feel, when it's good, it's really good, and when it's bad, it's really bad. But other shows are all excellent. I told you Stargirl starts next week. Phenomenal. You don't even have to wait to watch it. It'll air on DC Universe on Monday, and then on Tuesday it will become available, I think Tuesday. Well, the next day it will become available to watch on CW. So anyway, they're like, well, what else can we do? And they're like, how about Swamp Thing? So they're taking Swamp Thing Season 1 and they're sticking it on the CW. They're going to air the whole season, and I think it's going to do very well for them. And that makes everybody have a little bit of hope. Just maybe, they'll do a 2nd season because now people are watching it. Now, I, with you, don't understand what the heck is going on with Warner Brothers considering they're launching an HBO Max streaming service, right? You're like, why wouldn't you just take everything from DC Universe and put it on an HBO Max, which isn't cheap, by the way. I was going to sign up for their $12.99, $11.99 a month deal, but I think you're committed for a year. I'm not sure yet. I think I'm going to subscribe just on a monthly and see how it goes. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about it because I got burned by DC Universe. It was very expensive. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I was all about to enter my credit card even. It's tough. But anyway, we were all hoping they would just take all the DC Universe content and put it on HBO Max. But instead, they're putting it all over the place. Like, for instance, they just announced today that Sweet Tooth, a DC comic that I never read, is being produced by Robert Downey Jr. and his wife, and Netflix is getting it. The competition. What the hell? That seems crazy to me. I'd be like, why is there a DC property airing over on Netflix? That, like, what? Produced by Iron Man. What the heck is happening? So, and also Harley Quinn just started debuting on the Sci-Fi Network. I mean, HBO Max debuts this month. They should have made Harley Quinn Season 1 something you get if you sign up for it. Because it's an incredible show. I like the second season, but I don't like the second season as much because I have to watch it week by week, and I think it's affecting the viewing experience. Although the last episode was amazing. I'm a week ahead of you, so this Friday's episode is really good. And if you're into Harley Ivy shipping, you'll be very happy. You gotta watch. Although, how many of you are watching Harley? How many of you are subscribed to DC Universe? Thanks, Madeline. Lisa's like, I feel betrayed, Robert Downey Jr. That's funny. So Thomas has it. Computer Man does. So does Cody Lightwood. Sorry. Cody Lightwood, that's a cool name. I've seen a lot of no's. Seeing some of you are. Very few. But more than I would have expected. But, a lot of you are hardcore DC fans like myself. Yeah, the Harley Quinn show is incredible content. Oscar says I have it just for Harley Quinn. Yeah, we're hearing a lot of rumors that they're going to get rid of DC Universe and fold it into HBO Max, but I'm not quite sure. Maybe hey Music Fan 4E, maybe the programming will just go all over the place? I don't know, but it's crazy to me. Why wouldn't Swamp Thing go on HBO Max? Again, it debuted, it's not like, oh, why wait? It's this month. Like, imagine when HBO Max launched, you could watch Harley Quinn, Swamp Thing. I mean, that would be incredible. Incredible! Oh, wow. Although, the HBO show that they're doing from Jordan Peele seems a little Swamp Thing-like, right? That looks amazing, too. All right, so anyway, that's the first story of the day, and you'll finally get to watch Swamp Thing. All right, so let's go to story number 2. Hold on. Boop. All right. So, as I predicted yesterday, and a lot of you were like, don't be ridiculous, Grace. Katee Sackhoff can't play Bo-Katan in Mandalorian Season 2 because Ashley Eckstein didn't get to play Ahsoka. So there's no way she's going to get hired. Well, what do you know? The very next day, less than 24 hours later, the news was broken that Katee Sackhoff is indeed joining the Mandalorian Season 2 as Bo-Katan. Now, some of you were like, what do you mean she's been cast? Didn't they already film it? Yes, they did film it. Now, my guess is, thank you everybody, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys remembering other places report stuff, and I reported it earlier. Like, for instance, just before I went live, someone was like, oh, they're making a Secret Invasion Disney Plus show, and I'm like, yeah, I told you about that a long time ago. All right, so anyway. And also, you might be like, well, why do you say that you said it? Because, I think that I should get credit for the stories that I'm breaking. And so, you gotta toot your own horn. You gotta toot your own horn. If you won't toot your own horn, why would anybody else? All right, so squeaky wheel gets the grease, as I always tell you. All right, so anyway, the reason that I think this stuff is leaking is because they're working on post-production. And so there are more people working on it, and they're like, oh, is that Katee Sackhoff that I'm editing and putting a jetpack on? It is! And so they go and they leak it. That's how it's getting out. I think when they were filming, it was a tight set, everybody kept their mouth shut, but now that it's in post-production, more people are seeing it, and it's a hot show. I mean, I don't know how they kept Baby Yoda from leaking. That's a miracle. I mean, clearly that system is broken down, because they're leaking like a sinking ship over there. But of course, The Mandalorian is the premier show now on Disney Plus right now. But Katee Sackhoff is actually around the same age as Rosario Dawson's Ahsoka, so I think it's really perfect. It's going to work out great. Now, I feel very bad for Ashley Eckstein, because there's clearly a party happening on The Mandalorian, and she's not invited, even though all of her co-stars on Clone Wars and Rebels are. And that really sucks for her. But unfortunately, Ashley Eckstein is a voice actress. She really has no live action credits. And she doesn't have a fan base, like Rosario Dawson, Katee Sackhoff from Battlestar Galactica. These are people that the audiences know. Whereas Ashley Eckstein she doesn't bring that to the table, unfortunately. And also, she doesn't have the physicality of the character. I mean, I'm not saying she couldn't get there, but maybe she should have done that so that she could be like, you have no choice but to use me. But I mean, at the same time, Dave Filoni is going around having Ray Park doing motion capture for some of the action sequences that another actor, Sam Witwer, doing the voice. And I think maybe you get away with that a bit more in animation. I think it's a little bit harder in live action in terms of the credit of who's playing the person. So yeah, so it sucks for Ashley Eckstein. I would hope, what Dave Filoni should do? He should write another role. Yeah, Kyle just said. I think that they should write something for Ashley Eckstein so she can at least come on as a different character, because this really sucks. It really sucks. And I think it's not a nice thing to do to her. So they write a little, although it's getting awfully crowded in The Mandalorian Season 2, but maybe she could show up as another character, and that would be nice for her. I think that's what they should do. As I said, I think The Mandalorian is quickly becoming a Star Wars animated show. And I think, as I said in my review, I have very mixed feelings about that. Because I really like The Mandalorian for what it was. They should have just made a live-action Star Wars animated show on its own. Some people are guessing that maybe, as Hebert just said, this is a cameo, that maybe they're just going to introduce the characters here and then be like, we're making them their own show. But I don't know. Would anyone watch The Mandalorian then? I don't know. It's tough. It's really tough. All right, so that's the second story of the day. Let's go to the third story. Boop. So, Shanghai Disneyland opened yesterday. I was going to make a video about it, but nothing really happened. So I'll tell you my thoughts here. And I'll certainly be keeping an eye on when they may or may not be opening Disney World and Disneyland. But there wasn't really anything great coming out of there, except for some incriminating photos, which we're going to go over in just a moment. All right, so anyway, they opened with 30% capacity. I'm glad you guys like the booth. All right, so Shanghai Disneyland opened with 30% capacity, which is about 7,000 people in the park, and they staggered the entrance times. You not only have a reservation, but you have a reservation for what time you can enter. So they have a cool machine that when you walk by, it takes your temperature, like a scanner. Like in those futuristic movies, like Total Recall, when he walks through the thing and they scan his body, and they're like, oh, he's got a gun. Well, here they'd be like, he has a temperature, and they'll wrestle you to the ground and pull you out of the facility. Yeah, Disney Springs, Lloyd, opens on May 20th. That's more of a shopping center than a theme park. So anyway, I should have done a video. I didn't think of the Total Recall comparison. That's funny. But anyway, so they opened it up, and I have to say, the sales are pretty good, right? So I spent $100 on Disney face masks too, music fan 4E. They got me. I'm very excited for them to come. I'm convinced it's money well spent. I haven't even seen them. So anyway, tomorrow, by the way, it's the end of the day in Shanghai right now. But they did sell out tomorrow. Tomorrow is sold out. You can get tickets for Thursday and Friday, but the weekend is also sold out. So you couldn't go this weekend. So there seems to be like a solid demand. It's not like amazing demand where it's sold out for like the rest of the month. You would think the tickets might have been snapped up like that. But you can still relatively decide at the last minute that you want to go to Shanghai Disneyland, and you can go. Interestingly, though, they're only selling tickets through June 11th, so maybe they're going to see if it's worth it financially to keep the park open. Remember, Bob Chapek said, I ain't running a charity here. If we're not making money, I'm not going to keep doing this. Because, for instance, they're getting money for people to go into the park. They have to see, I think, what the food and merch sales are like, right? Are people buying merchandise? Are they buying food, even though it's really hard to eat because you have to take your mask off to eat? So we'll see what happens. Yes, you have to keep your mask on during rides, Dancing Dog 60. You can only take your mask off to eat. Now, they have social distancing in place, right? So I'll bring up these two photos, actually. Let me see if I can do it. I told you they're incriminating photos, so let me get one. Let me get it. All right, so yes, I have two of them. So there's the first one. Look, I have a face mask of the photo. All right, so here's the first one. and you have to stand in this little yellow square to stay away from each other. Now, first of all, that's not 6 feet. Apparently, in China, you only have to be 3 feet apart. And I'm like, maybe this is why you guys can't contain it. You're supposed to be 6 feet apart. This is only, by Madeline, this looks like only 3 feet apart to me. They said a meter. But no one's staying in their goddamn yellow square. So I'd be going nuts. I'd be like, you're not in your square. Get in your square. So I don't like that very much at all. So that's why you need to watch a show. That's how they're handling that. And let me show you one other image. She is very adorable. I agree, Jigo. Everyone looks very nice. Okay, let me get the other one. Yeah, this one was the one I was shocked at. All right, so here's the other image. Yeah, that's right. Stay in the square, Lauren. So here these people are online to get a fast pass, which I'm like, why don't you have on your phone, for Pete's sake? So you can see, now Disney had said, we find that it's much better to tell people where not to stand than where to stand. And that's what these squares are. These squares are, don't stand on this, stand between the squares. But you can see that that family there, with that little girl in the purple skirt, don't understand, even though it says really big on there, don't stand here. They're standing on the square. So, but then there's another group right behind them in the space. So they're not even 3 feet apart. They're like 1.5 feet apart. And so, as you can see, it's complete chaos and has already fallen apart on day one. Now imagine if there were more people in there. And this is China, where it's like really, really bad. So, I mean, imagine what people would do in America. It would be a disaster. So I'm very concerned about it. The movie alert says people don't care. That's right, they just don't. So yeah, so I feel like I don't know if this is going to work out. I don't know why they're in the square, Elliot. It says really big, don't stand on this. And yet, but I think maybe they should have like a red X out, because I think people are like, do I stand on it or do I not stand on it? I don't know. The lines never got more than 20 minutes though, which I think is pretty impressive. All right, so those are the 3 stories of the day. Let me get rid of the marker. It's 4:57. You can ask me anything that you would like until 5:05. Well, no, 5:07. I'll give you the full 10 minutes. And then I got to get to work editing. Josh, people do hate being told what to do. Even if it's for their own goddamn safety. Chico, I'm so glad you liked the Young Avengers video. Portis, New Mutants, they're still deciding. I think everyone's waiting to see what happens with Scoob. The update I got from my source is that Disney is like, we don't know what to do with this movie. So they're either going to release it in October in theaters, or they might release it earlier. Let's see. This news today about Los Angeles saying you can't go anywhere until end of July is pretty bad. Geeky Gator, I did see that article from the Hollywood Reporter about streaming service subscriptions. Hey, David Stevenson, thanks for joining. Yeah, by 2025, Disney will have 202 million. Yeah, that was a big disparity between HBO Max and Disney Plus. I think when HBO Max starts to get more new content, they talked to me. I talked to them about screeners today. They were very nice. I was like, "What original shows do you have?" And they're helping me out. But I think when they get more stuff, it'll go better for them. Max says, when do you think WandaVision will be released? I don't know. Luckily, it was still set for the end of the year, so we have some time. Red, I did see the Robert Pattinson GQ article. I told you he couldn't bulk up, and he even's admitting it. He's like, I'm not working out. James Dean didn't have to work out. And you're like, James Dean wasn't playing Batman. I mean, he looks fine in the suit. And I said in my coverage that we're just going to have to accept that we're going to have a skinny Batman, and that's the end of it. I'm okay with it. We have so many Batmans at this point. Zeester says in Kuwait they're going back to work in June. Be careful. Evan, I don't know what's for dinner tonight. I've run out of food. I'll get a food delivery tomorrow. I mean, I have some food, but I don't have like enough to put together like a real dinner. Kind of bummed about it, to be honest with you. But yeah, the movie lover says I'd buy pasta from Pattinson. He was making pasta with sugar and cheese. Oh my God. You can't put sugar on pasta? Mika, I will do an HBO launch review for sure. Misty, I watched the Super Bowl. Actually, I don't watch the Super Bowl anymore because now I cover the trailer, so I don't watch football at all, unfortunately. But I used to love watching the Super Bowl. Rashad says, Batman or Iron Man? Batman! I'm a huge Batman fan. I love Batman more than anything in the world. Batman and X-Men. And Disney. Like the parks and stuff. Lloyd says construction will resume on Avengers Campus and Mickey's Runaway Railway in California. I think that's great, as long as they can do it safely. Italy has started construction again, but it's going very slowly, because no one can be near anybody. Youngie, you can get Scoob. We're having a Scoob watch-along on Saturday, remember? But you can get Scoob anywhere you can buy movies. So Amazon, iTunes, Fandango, Vudu, any place you can buy movies digitally, you'll be able to buy Scoob. For $25. Noel says, my favorite way to eat potatoes, French fries. I miss McDonald's, boy. The other day I was like, wouldn't it be great to go to New Jersey and go to the mall and walk around and go to the movies and have dinner? I can't, but at least I'm not dead. No new gods, T Dancing Dog 60. I wouldn't be surprised if they shelved that thing, because Eternals is rocketing toward us. Feige. Jacob, I buy all my movies on iTunes. I know I could save money if I went with another company, but I just like iTunes. Stasio says, would you cast unknown actors or name actors? I would get one name, like Haley Steinfeld, to head up the whole thing, but I would cast unknowns. Daniel says, what am I most excited about for HBO Max? I'm excited about all of it. I think it looks great. I'm excited about Looney Tunes. I'm excited about Elmo. I'm surprisingly excited about the Elmo talk show. I would not have anticipated that, but I can't wait to watch it. I asked for screeners. Sabriz, you're a new member. I have not been out at all. I have not gone outside since March 17th. I'm feeling it, but at least I'm not dead. That's my sitcom catchphrase. Who asked that? Stefano, Titan Season 3. Hey, Kobe. Titan Season 3 is a thing. Remember, they were trying to cast someone to play Oracle. And you're like, what? Why are you putting Barbara Gordon on Titans when you're making a Batgirl movie? What's happening here? Rashad says the Looney Tunes show looks pretty rad. Yeah, and they keep putting out full cartoons. I love the amusement park one, and they had a wet cement one that they put out today, but they made a lot of them. So, Brendan says, are you expecting anything major to come out of Comic-Con at home? No, not at all. I'm expecting zero to come out of that. So if anything does, I'll be shocked. I think that nobody is going to want to participate and help the Comic-Con brand, because it doesn't help them at all. I mean, it helps them if they run the event. So then they're like, sure, we'll show up. But otherwise, why would you just run your own show? Anybody can get a camera up and stream. Mika, I'm excited for the Dwayne Johnson, Emily Blunt superhero thing on Netflix. I think that sounds cool. I'm glad they're going to work together again. I wouldn't do too much on one service, though. It's going to make them seem like they just work on that service. You want to spread yourself out. I don't think, someone said, it's going so fast. Evan says, thoughts on rumor that WandaVision and Falcon Winter Soldier might switch release dates. I'd be really surprised. They can't make WandaVision come out too far in advance of Doctor Strange because it leads directly into that movie. But that movie doesn't come out until, when does it, I moved again, I think 2021, right? Let's see here. I forgot. I'm thinking it's 2022, actually. But that's just so sad. It did. It is 2022. Oh, so bad. March 2022. Oh, my God. Well, then, Who the hell cares? They can just release WandaVision whenever they want. Let's see here. Lena says, Grace, do you think Tenet could potentially take Wonder Woman 1984's release date? No, it won't move just a month. If it moves, it'll move to the fall. If movies have to move out of July, that's it for the summer. It's dead. We have 2 minutes, and then I must go. Heber says, do you think they'll kill Cheetah in Wonder Woman 1984? I know what happens to Cheetah. I can't give you spoilers. It would be mean. Yogi says, which delayed movie are you the most excited to see? All of them. I just want these are big movies that were delayed. I mean, it's crazy. Dancing Dog, you think Tenet will move a year? Oh, I don't know about that. Yeah, TJ Williams, I don't know where The Boys Season 2 is. They were supposed to debut a trailer on March 15th. I had it in my calendar to cover. I remember it specifically because I was traveling that day back from Los Angeles, and I was like, I'll cover it the next morning when I get home. And it never came out because they've canceled the Paley Fest where it was going to debut. But where is it now? It's supposed to come out this summer. Western Hero says, thoughts on LA County stay-at-home order being extended. As we talked about at the beginning of the stream, I think it's going to KO the movies. And I will cover as soon as Warner Brothers and other studios pull that trigger. But it's too early to cover it now because we don't know what they're going to do. Geeky Gator says, do you think Dune has good awards potential? It could be like Mad Max Fury Road. Let's see. I watched that stupid Dune movie, and now I know how to pronounce everything. It's Atreides, but it was horrible, horrible, horrible movie. And I would be shocked if it could be adapted in a compelling way. We'll see. All right, it's 5:07. On that positive note, let's move on to the next. Let me move on to edit those videos and get them up, and then we'll see if there's any breaking news. But today you're definitely getting Capone review and a Hamilton video. Which one do you guys want first? Which one do you guys want first? Hamilton or Capone? I'll let you vote in the comments, and then I must go. You guys are very sweet. I love talking to you every day. Oh, wow, Hamilton. Hamilton is winning by a long shot. All right, I'll do that one first. It's the longer video, but I will do it anyway. Oh, look at all that Hamilton love. They made a good choice. All right, everybody, I will talk to you soon. Stay tuned. 2 videos coming this evening, and, of course, more content tomorrow. And a stream. The stream tomorrow is earlier. I'll let you know when it is. It'll probably be like at 2 o'clock. Okay, bye. Bye, everybody.